Entrepreneur Indonesia, saya Eva, Ketua Umum Asosiasi Laundry Indonesia. Saat ini saya sedang berada di Jerman menghadiri Global Best Practice Laundry World. Nah, sebentar lagi saya akan mengikuti acara Laundry Talk, Roundtable Talk yang akan membahas attractive labor, di mana pegawai Gen Z biasanya itu seperti apa di industri laundry. Nah, ikuti keseruan kami. Mau tahu saya diskusinya dengan siapa aja? Kali ini saya berdiskusi dengan negara Brazil, ada juga dari Ivory Coast, Afrika, juga ada France dan juga ada US. Jadi tentunya diskusi ini membicarakan mengenai anak-anak muda yang bekerja di laundry. Ikuti keseruan diskusi ini dan jangan lupa untuk like, komen dan juga subscribe. Di sini ya, di sini.
I myself am not working in the Texcare industry, but still the topic of attracting young labor and also retaining young labor is quite a challenge. So I can definitely relate to that.
This microphone will allow the online.
And
so sorry, I would like to apologize for my English because French I think is not very clear. I am Frédéric Becker, I'm coming from France. I'm a trainer for laundry people, and I work in Texcare since for 35 years ago.
Hello, my name is Victor. I'm from Brazil. I have run an operation in retail etc. myself. I also do some training and education.
I'm your voice active. I'm president of African Business Texcare.
great, okay, interesting.
My name is Gian Barlow, and I have been IFBTC in the United States, the state of Michigan, and I have been working in the industry for 43 years, mostly. And I'm currently reinventing my business for the third time.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
Okay.
it just goes into the.
Okay. Still
You
can use.
you still use it.
Still use it.
Let's use it.
Yes. Okay, I'm Eva, President of Indonesia Laundry Association, and also I'm CEO and founder of Easy Roll Super Agro. So I already in this business almost 10 years. So that's nothing in comparison with okay.
Still quite a lot to do. Strategies and the methods that you guys as industry leaders and experts are using to, first of all, attract young labor, but also to retain them in the company. And well, there are a lot of aspects that we have to consider, among others, of course, hard working conditions, long working hours, also prospect of career opportunities. So all these things actually become a challenge when attracting young labor. So maybe we go, we dive into some of them, and maybe we can start with working conditions. And there I would like to ask you actually. In Indonesia, right? What are the working conditions like, and how do you improve the working conditions to make it still attractive for young people to join?
Okay, so as you guys know, Indonesia is very hot. Yeah.
Yes.
Very hot, so sweaty, and then because the boiler, when you ironing, mostly in industry laundry Indonesia, we do wash and fold. Yeah, so we do wash and fold, and then traditional, so they do boil the water, and then steam out, and then very hot.
Yeah.
So normally when I'm doing in our company and our laundry and then our partner, because we like to have a partner, so we always training the owner of the laundry, not only for the staff, because the owner should be know how the condition of our laundry. Yeah. If we start, if we do ironing 15 minutes, how we feel. Yeah. If we do 30 minutes, how we feel. So after that, then we come to know that this is hot. So our worker must be feel the same. So like Indonesia is very hot, so we put the air conditioner or sometimes the fan, or the exhaust fan, something like that. So our fan with the water spray. So this is normally what we are doing in Indonesia with the temperature which is very hot.
And do you see that improving the working conditions also makes it more attractive for young people to join?
Yeah, because young people like comfortable. Yes. Yeah. If they standing too long, they feel tired.
Yeah.
Even already 15 minutes, tired.
Yes.
So sometimes we are asking the reason why. Because this is hot.
Yes.
So that's why we have to feel it. Also, if 15 minutes we stand, is it very hot? So if we also feel hot, then okay, this is hot. But if we feel no, so we tell them look. Then we have to teach them. But even we standing for 30 minutes, we are okay. So what's the problem? Then still we have to be provide with the good environment, comfortable. So the Gen Z normally they like comfortable.
Yes. Thank you. Frederica, I see you want to say something to that, right? You're already reacting, laughing out loud. So how is the situation in France when it comes to attracting the Gen Z, the younger generation? And what elements are important in making them joining the profession of Texcare industry?
Yeah, we have the same problem in France. But the first problem is how to have young people to come because they don't know our job. They don't know what it is to clean clothes. Because when you ask young, they say to you, I don't want to, I run all the days. It's not good, but we have not enough young people are coming and the first problem. And I think if we want to have more young people, we need to communicate more and to provide new technology because young people are liking smartphone.
Yes.
They are liking video and. We need to have to have fun with work. And after we need to have a good leadership for young people.
Yes.
Because if the management is not bad, it's not good. We need to have a good condition. And we have a beautiful job, but they don't know. When I was young. I would like to be a pilot. I would like to build road and bridge. And I work in PTC, and it was very surprise for me. But when I discovered this job, I like it, and it's very important to like it, and to make this job very happy for this. So I think we need to develop for them the purpose of our job, they can find a purpose by our job. So technology, leadership, purpose. That's what. Sorry, my English.
No, really understandable. Thanks a lot. I think that's very clear. The three elements that you're talking about indeed are very clear. So thanks a lot for highlighting that. I think another aspect which is also relevant to motivate young people to work for a company is also the customer engagement, right? And what I mean with that is that, if young people, as you say, feel the purpose, they feel like they're doing something which is relevant and important, that can also be a motivator. And I'm looking at you, Jen, right now, because that's also specifically important, I believe, in the US, right? That you, the customer is the king, right? And if you get positive feedback from the customer, that also gives you a lot of satisfaction. So how is it for you? Like, what kind of, how do you see your employees react when you receive positive customer feedback, and especially related to the younger generation? Can you give us some examples?
So the approach that I've taken is to change the culture of the business so that they actually understand how the business, the philosophy of the business, what the core values of the business is. So if everybody has the same core values in the business and our customers have those same core values. So that's how we started. Our core values were that we put the customer first, that we're reliable, that we're team oriented, that you're a self-starter, that you are honest, and that you pay attention to detail. So those are the only 6 things that count to us, and we communicate that to the customer. And once they see that, the second thing that I work with them on is I make sure they understand the purpose of our business and the niche of our business. And that also means that, like for employee comfort, you know, I buy them uniforms, I buy them shoes. So I'm trying to encompass them so they don't have to make any decisions about going to work. And I try to give them an experience that none of their friends are getting in their jobs. So that means that, you know, I mean, sometimes I'm bringing in food and sometimes the customers bring in food, but I also try to give them exposure outside of the business. So they are able to go to events and they can go places and do things rather than just doing their job. Now, several people just want to come in and do a job, but we try to make it so that they can see, oh, if you want a career, because we're looking for people to stay longer. We explain to them, it's like we're doing nice people's, nice clothes and household goods. And our special niche is that it's personal delivery through eco-friendly technology. So then everybody knows that. And we have meetings like weekly so that we can help them identify, you know, and discuss and solve whatever it is that's their problems, because they spend so much time looking at this and they don't talk to each other. So I'm making them talk to people, and then they say to me, well, oh, I say, who else do you have these conversations with? They don't have any conversations with anybody like this. So I think as a business owner, it is your job to coach them and have the discussion so then they start to understand. And, you know, you start out your meetings to understand, okay, what's your personal best and what's your professional best? So you learn their children, their dogs, their hobbies, so they can brag about their life, because their life is 16 hours and you only get them for 8. And then I try to explain to them about the profit centers, and I show them the numbers so they can see. And I talk to them about what the customers are, the demographics, the psychographic, the geographic, so where they live, how much money they make. Because a lot of my people that work for me, like they shop at Walmart, they don't shop at, you know, Gucci. So those are the kinds of things that I do to try and make a difference.
And maybe we can keep the microphone, but maybe just to ask one additional question. So once you started to involve them into, you know, once you started to show them the numbers, to talk about the strategy, like what kind of effects do you see? Like what kind of reactions do you get from the people?
They feel valued. They feel heard. And when I've always said the way you treat your employees goes straight to the front counter. So if you come in and find fault and be a little, hey, you shouldn't have done that, then they will react and they pass it on to the next person, which could be the phone call or the email or the text message. So I try to always switch it to make it more positive and ask better questions, so then they feel like they're valued and they're heard. And sometimes I just have to say, I value your opinion, or I hear what you're saying. And I can tell you that was not the way I did business for a long time. But with this younger generation, you need to say that and start believing that because they want to tell you their opinion. So let them tell you, and then you can always make them see your way. But you got to start where they're at. So I think it's hard to remember when you were 19 years old and full of opinions, but I think we were all there. So put that back, you know?
Really nice. Well, thanks so much. I think this is a very good example of how you involve your employees in your company and how to motivate them for that. So thanks a lot for sharing. We will get with another question again in a bit. But first, a question to Celestine.
Yes.
The first question that I have for you is, what strategies have you found? Because I think maybe a little bit of an explanation first. So Celestine is of course from the Ivory Coast, and you do a lot of projects within Africa. And for you, it is important to set an example in Africa for the younger generation that they can make an impact where they are. So they don't have to look outside, but they can also make an impact in Africa. And I think you're making a very great example here for the younger people in Africa. That's something I want to highlight. But then my question to you is, what strategies have you found most effective in attracting the younger people and also in developing the skills that are needed for them to stay in this industry and to stay connected locally? The first question that I have for you. And you can reply in French.
Ok. Pour la première question, il faut reconnaître que on peut permettre à ces jeunes Africains de donner tout leur espoir au métier de l'entretien textile en trois grands points que je pourrais dire. Le premier point, c'est que il faut leur montrer l'opportunité qu'on a, que offre l'entretien textile à moyen et à long terme et à court terme. Ici, tous les secteurs d'activité sont développés par des puissances économiques. Tu ne peux pas être africain, jeune africain, et vouloir développer une industrie dans le pétrole. C'est pas possible. Voilà, tu ne peux pas être un jeune africain et dire je vais développer une industrie dans les mines. Tu n'as pas les moyens et tu n'as pas la force politique qu'il faut. Mais être un jeune africain et dire que je vais développer une activité dans l'entretien textile, mais dès aujourd'hui, tu peux commencer. Parce que si tu as une bassine, si tu as de l'eau, si tu as du savon, tu peux déjà commencer à laver des habits et gagner peut-être 5 francs pour aller payer une mangue pour manger. Donc, il faut montrer aux jeunes que c'est une activité qu'on peut commencer à tout moment, premièrement. Et deuxièmement, il faut savoir que dans le temps, c'est une activité qui ne peut pas s'arrêter. Dans les mines, un jour, quand tu creuses, ça finit. Dans le pétrole, un jour, ça finit. Mais laver des habits, ça ne finit jamais. Tant qu'il y a une journée qui commence, il y a des gens qui vont venir dire que hier, j'ai des habits sont sales, il faut les laver. Donc, une activité qui est pérenne, qui peut continuer à chaque fois, c'est une très bonne activité. Et deuxièmement, il faut que les jeunes puissent être professionnels. Tu veux avoir un bien-être dans un métier, il faut connaître le métier. En Afrique, il n'y a pas beaucoup de centres de formation. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de centres de formation. Dans mon pays, en Côte d'Ivoire, il n'y a pas de centre de formation. C'est cette année que le ministère de la formation professionnelle a accordé le premier agrément d'une école de formation des blanchisseurs. Donc, généralement, ceux qui pratiquent ce métier, ils n'ont aucune formation de base. Donc, il faut que ces jeunes-là se professionnalisent, ils apprennent à bien faire ce métier pour qu'ils puissent en tirer le meilleur profit dans ce métier. Et enfin, il faut aussi qu'il y ait des exemples de réussite dans ce métier. En Europe, ici, quand vous regardez, il y a des gens qui ont construit leur vie, qui ont construit la vie de leurs enfants et ils sont très heureux. En France, par exemple, j'ai visité un Poissy et le patron, il avait une BMW série 7. Une BMW série 7. Non, c'est pas donné. Ça donne l'envie d'être blanchisseur. Mais en Afrique, on ne peut pas trouver un blanchisseur qui a une BMW série 7 et il était à sa 3e BMW. Et en Afrique, nous avons besoin des gens qui réussissent dans ce métier et qui donnent l'exemple aux jeunes d'embrasser ce métier. Et je pense que ça sera fait. Merci.
Well, thanks so much, Celestine, for explaining. And previously, you wrote down indeed the 3 points that you were just mentioning. So maybe for the ones that don't speak French and sit in this room, I can quickly explain. It's first of all, to generate the opportunity to actually do the work there. Oh, just a second. I see that we are also live right now. So first of all, welcome to our audience, which are joining us online. We are sitting here in the the round table to discuss how to attract young labor into the professional textile care industry. And we sit here with a group of experts and industry leaders from all around the world. We started discussing the elements that are important to consider when attracting young labor. So, of course, things like the working conditions, but also customer satisfaction and how that can have a positive impact on the motivation of our young colleagues as well. We talked about the general purpose that young colleagues have to experience. I think with that we continue our discussion. We also have, Celestine was just responding indeed to my question how we can keep young labor in this industry in Africa. You mentioned a couple of points. First of all, it is the point of creating that opportunity in Africa, right? So having an understanding of that job in Africa, making sure that to do the work which is relevant in that region as well, which textile care industry is relevant in fact.
Quoting an entrepreneur from Brazil, I don't know what characterized anyway, but he says, we don't build a company, we build a team, and the team will build a team. So that's very important. And in Brazil, the sense of community is huge. And I keep telling my staff, my own staff, that they have to rely on each other. They depend on each other. They have to trust each other. And when we talk about younger people, the Gen Z generation, so to speak, they have trouble dealing with actual people. They're easygoing with the mobile, they're easygoing on the internet, they're easygoing on the chat room, but face-to-face is another story. So, and the way you talk to people, Jen was telling me about the way we say things to them that may impact. So we have to build a different way, not only me as the owner of the company, but also my team, my staff, the supervisors, the managers. They have to look after them in a different way. It's part of the job. Maybe my more experienced team have not, raised their children like that, but they have to understand now that the situation is different. So it has to be on an easygoing basis, I would say.
Great, thanks a lot. I think that's a great answer. Also including the older generations together with the newer generations and how we can deal with that. I would also like to ask the same question to you from the US. What kind of team building activities do you do in your company and how does it help with enhancing the retention of colleagues?
In terms of customer service, we use a tool called Intercom.
I try to ask the peer group to make their own team building activities. It's not driven from the top down. It's not the boss. It comes from the bottom up. So things that they like and they want to do, that's what we're focusing on. And there are some incentive plans that are part of it. But so far, we haven't embraced a lot of that just because they're so new to the industry. COVID, we rebuilt our entire staff, so it's more about giving them training opportunities so that they understand how to do the job better, and then to implement measurement, because what gets measured gets paid attention to. And so within the team, everybody feeling a sense of pride. That is how we're building it. So it's a real back to basics approach. In years past, I might take them on trips or, plan some kind of outing. But now it's more internally driven, making them understand what they're supposed to do and be better at it. And then the group feels camaraderie, and so they like their colleagues, and just going back to like supplying them uniforms or those little things that they mean a lot to their job. So that's we try to make ourselves, I am constantly watching to see what every other business, not dry cleaners, are doing, but see what those businesses are doing, and then copy their great ideas or make sure that I do something that's really different that shows that I'm valuable for them to stay in their job with me instead of looking for someone else.
Thanks so much, Jen. I think this is a very important point that you're making. And also previously you've shared that the involvement of your colleagues in the strategy, in the financials, right, in all the communication that you do, has a big impact in how they feel in the company. So also here, in involving them, they actually feel part of the team, and that is a big motivator for them to stay in the company.
That's right.
Thanks a lot for highlighting that. I would like to move on to my next question. That's again to you.
Okay.
Especially in regards to, well, in Indonesia, we just had a discussion previously, and you were also telling that young people would like to move to bigger cities and also to bigger factories, which have more prestige. So how can we ensure that we keep the young people also, even in smaller Texcare companies, but also in general in the industry? So how can we make our industry as attractive as big factories in Indonesia?
Okay. Yeah, in Indonesia, actually, many workers now they feel better working in the factory because working in the laundry just like labor, no prestige. So that's why how to make it attractive, they willing to work with us. In association now we make a certification, so we train people and then so they competence in their job, so become a profession. So this certification actually we just get the license from the government. So in the hotel there is 1 star, 2 stars, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. So maybe if they do the certification, and then there is a if they let's say in the laundry, if they want to be a 4 star, there is should be certification competent of the how many staff there is a competent. So will be benefit for them who is they already have the competency, so they will be get a good salary. So this is also now we are trying to make it this faster to socialization to all entrepreneurs in Indonesia, that looks now we do the certification, we make a curriculum in the training center. So after they get the what curriculum what we have from the government, they give the license to us for the operator laundry and also for the supervisor the professional laundry. So if they want to be a competence in operator laundry, so they can join in our
school in association. So this is what we did now.
Thanks so much. I think this is a great practical example on how you can integrate things like, for example, a certificate to become more credible and more
Competence,
attractive indeed to potential employees. So thanks so much for that. And we are actually at the end of our roundtable. So thanks so much for the discussion, for the input. I think there are a lot of things you can learn from one another. And if there's any more questions, then let's take it afterwards. Thanks so much.
Thank you.